And sorry. Hello friends, welcome back to my life. Today, I'm sorry if I seem like awkward or anything, but today's video is very hard for me to film because I'm gonna be telling you guys, it's gonna be a story time, by the way, and I'm gonna be sharing my story of the mistake that I made in high school. This story is hard for me to tell because I don't know, it really put me in a bad spot and it affected me like really badly. So if you guys want to find out what I did in high school that is terrible, then just keep watching. Disclaimer, I don't want to come for anybody or make anybody upset by this story or offend anyone, and I'm not trying to bring up past drama because this was like 3 years ago. I just want to tell the story because I never really got to speak out on my behalf, so here it is. Also, I'm not going to be using any names. I'm just going to make up names because I don't want to expose anyone. So this event took place, I don't remember the date, but it was like Christmas break of my, I don't remember. Anyways, I think it was my junior year. No. Okay, sophomore year. We're gonna say sophomore year because I don't remember what year was it, but it was sophomore or junior year. I was in student council and we had raised money to go on, like we had this fundraiser for like shirts and all kinds of stuff, and if you sold enough then you were eligible to go on a trip. And so of course I sold enough stuff because I wanted to go on the trip, and this trip was at the Galleria Mall in Houston. So basically we stayed at the hotel. It was like a convention thing, so we stayed at the hotel in the mall, and then we had to like wake up in the mornings and go all day and like sit in this boring convention thing. So on this trip was me and two of my girlfriends, we're gonna call them Sam and Amanda, and then 3 guy friends of ours. We're gonna call them Josh, Drake, and Miles, Amanda, and Sam. Okay, so we're on this trip. We're headed to the Galleria. We are so excited. We're on the bus. We're so excited to have fun. We're gonna shop. It's just gonna be so fun. So we get there and they were like splitting us up into rooms, and it was supposed to be rooms with 4 people in each room. And me, Sam, and Amanda, that's only 3, so we needed one other person. So we noticed this girl, her name, we're gonna call her Jasmine. Jasmine was kind of by herself, so we were like, hey, let's like ask her if she wants to room with us. So we did, and she said yes. So we get into our rooms, whatever, we're having fun, and then we got to go shopping, and the supervisors, or the sponsors, there were 2. We're gonna call them sponsor A and sponsor B. So they told us, they gave us their phone numbers, whatever, and they were like, y'all go have fun, go shop, and at this time we're gonna meet at Cheesecake Factory and eat dinner. So Cheesecake Factory was in the mall, so everybody was in the mall. Nobody could go anywhere. We didn't have vehicles, so we couldn't get around anywhere, so we were all just in the mall shopping, and then we were gonna go eat. So we get there to eat, and we start eating, and we're at a bigger table. Like, it was the 2 sponsors and then some of the kids, and then our whole group plus extra like 4 people sitting at a whole table. And our waitress sucked and like forgot to give us our cash or our change or something. She had to go get more change or whatever, I don't know. But basically she was taking so long, and we were there by ourselves because the sponsors and all the other people went back to the hotel. Instead of being responsible and saying, hey, we're gonna wait for you guys, you know, and it was late. It was like 11 o'clock. And so they just went back to the hotel. So we all had to walk back to the hotel room by ourselves. And then it was about 12:15 at night, and they never texted us to say, hey, did you guys make it back to your rooms okay? Or hey, you know, come to our rooms, knock on the door, say, hey, we're just making sure everybody's back in their rooms, fine and safe, whatever. No, they didn't do any of that. They also did not do any like room checking, and I think this is kind of messed up because, okay, here's the hallway. So here's a hallway and here's a hallway, and then where my head is was like the section with the elevators. So on this hallway, it was mine, Amanda, Sam's, and Jasmine's room, and then right next door was Miles, Josh, and Drake's room, right next door to us. And so, and then the other groups, the other two rooms were at the very end of that hallway. And our teachers, so we're over here, our teachers were halfway down the other hallway. They never came to our doors and say, hey, like, lights out at midnight, don't go into anybody else's room, stay in your own room, be up bright and early in the morning, blah, 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 blah. No, we never got any kind of rules or anything. And I'm not saying this to defend myself, to say that I wasn't in the wrong, because I will flat out tell you that I did do wrong things and I was in the wrong for what I did. But I also had no adult supervision to tell me not to do that. And that's not okay for me to use that as an excuse, but also they should have checked on us. So I had brought like card games and stuff with me for me and my roommates to play, and the guys were thinking otherwise. That night they told us to come to their room because they were going to get alcoholic beverages and we were just going to hang out in their room. And so I didn't think it was a very good idea, obviously, because I have like a very guilty conscience, and I think about every scenario that could go wrong. So I was telling myself, no, like, Bailey, this is not a good idea. So I had gotten in my bed and I had turned on Netflix and I was ready to sit in bed and watch Netflix all night. And Amanda and Sam were going to the other room. So I was like, you know what, I don't want to be in here by myself, because our other roommate Jasmine was planning on going to sleep. And so I was like, I don't want to be in here by myself, so I went with them, which was like a terrible idea. And they had set up like drinking games and everything. And yes, before I finished the story, yes, I did drink alcohol that night. It happened. Okay, we went back to our rooms after everything happened, and we were up bright and early. We were ready to go to the convention. Oh, I left out a part. So the guys actually told us, so they were older than us, a year older, so they had went to the convention before and told us, like the year before, and told us that they did the same exact thing, and the sponsor that was there with us found out and didn't say anything to them. So they were like, what's the harm in doing it again? So we were at the convention, and the guys ended up leaving the convention early and going back to the room, which was like one of the big rules, that you weren't supposed to leave or anything. So when the teachers found out, they went into their room and they found things, and they were just gonna brush it under the rug. Obviously I was freaking out, because that's like a scary thing to get caught with something like that, and I was stupid enough to do it in the first place. So she's like, we're just gonna let this go and just move past it. So we did, and then we get called into their rooms, and as soon as we walk in, they're like, so what's this rumor that we hear about a rooftop party? Someone at the convention had told everyone, apparently at the convention, that we were planning on throwing a rooftop party. How the heck are we even gonna, what? Like, it was so bizarre, and like we were all kind of looking at each other like, what are you talking about? And so we were very confused. And so in that moment, they were like, we know what happened Friday night, and we were just gonna let this go, but now this has come up. So they gave us papers and said, you need to write a statement. First of all, I was like 17. and I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm a child. I make stupid mistakes. Yes, I made a mistake, but it was not all my fault. So we go to write statements, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't think I should write this because I don't have my mom here. I don't have anyone to guide me on what I should be doing. Like, I'm 17 years old. So I write the statement anyways, and sponsor A leaves the room, while sponsor B, who was the one that pushed on the rug last year, or the year before, she was still in the room, and it was me, Amanda, and Sam in the room, and she was like, we were talking to her, and we like, we're so scared, we don't know like what to do. Obviously we did this, but like we didn't, I don't know. I don't even know what I was thinking at that moment. I was just so scared. So we're sitting there, and she tells us that everything's gonna be okay, to get a piece of paper and a pen, go back to our hotel room, write a statement saying that we did absolutely nothing, basically that we were just in the room, or that we didn't even go in the room, we didn't take any kind of drinks, we didn't do anything, and give it to her privately the next morning. So I'm putting all my trust in this lady because I think that she's doing this to help us, because us three girls were the ones that really have never gotten into trouble. We're the honor roll in every single club, those kind of students. So we don't know what to do. Like, this is the first mistake we've ever made, and we're like, what the heck are we supposed to do about it? So we give her the statement the next morning, and she tells us that everything was gonna be okay because the boys were gonna take the fall for it. We get to school that Monday, and I am in the class of the sponsor that told me to hand her the statement saying that I didn't do anything privately. And she gets a phone call, and she looks at me, and she tells me to go to the AP's office, not even being able to make eye contact with me at this moment. So I go to the AP's office, and everybody's in there, and basically they tell me, like, I'm trying to text my mom because my mom doesn't know, and it's just like, I'm not even scared about getting in trouble at school, I'm scared about what my mom's gonna say. So I'm trying to text my mom, and they're like, you know, put your phone away, there's a cop in there, and he's like, put your phone away, you're not supposed to have your phone out. So I'm like trying to do it secretly to text my mom. And finally, I got my phone to where he wouldn't see, and I just texted her, and I said, I'm in the office, I'm so sorry, and that's all I said. And so I get into the actual office where the principals and stuff are, and they asked me like a bunch of questions, and I told them the truth, obviously, because I'm not a liar. Like, I wasn't raised to be a liar. And so then he grabs this statement. Notice how I say statements, because they gave them both. One where we are telling the truth and one where we are lying, and he held them both up like this, and he was like, so in this one you told me exactly what you just said, but in this one you're not saying anything you just said, so you want to explain that to me? And at the time I didn't know what happened, so I felt that it was wrong to throw her under the bus, to say, yeah, she told me to write another statement, because I'm a better person than that, just to like say, F it, yeah, she did this. So I didn't say anything. So they called my mom. My mom came and picked me up, and I didn't want to go inside my house. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. I didn't want to go inside of my house because I thought that because my dad was home, and sorry. My dad was home, and he didn't know about anything yet, and I didn't want to be the one to have to tell him. Oh my god, why am I crying on camera right now? So I sat outside and I just cried, because I just saw like my my immediate thought is like, my parents are so disappointed in me, and that's so much worse than your parents being mad at you. So it was a really difficult time for me, but basically I got sent to alternative school for 31 days, and that was literally like prison. My mom fought to like not get me put in there because she saw it from my point of view, as in like I didn't, and she wasn't sticking up for me because I was her daughter. She was sticking up for me because she saw the wrong in the whole thing. She knows that I shouldn't have done that, and I know I shouldn't have done that, but I did, and I mean I can't go back in time and change it, so it's over with. But we appealed it, and they turned us down. I went to alternative school for 32 days because I missed a day, so I had to go an extra day because I had to go to my grandpa's funeral, and they made me go an extra day for that. When I say it was like prison, it was literally like prison. Like, I shouldn't have been there. There's people that vape in my high school, and they get freaking ISS for 3 days, but I'm on a trip away from the school, like completely away. And they said it was because it was 100 feet from the school. Houston is not 100 feet from my school. And they said it was 100 feet from the school, so that they sentenced me to alternative school. Anyways, every morning you get there, you had to take off your shoes, take off your socks, flip your socks inside out, and shake them. Like, I'm the kind of person that's gonna hide freaking cocaine in my socks. Like, I don't care to smuggle drugs. I don't even do drugs. Like, and that whole time of me being there, like, it really just made me so depressed because, like, that's hard for someone to go through stuff like that. And I know I put myself in the situation, which sucks because I'm not the kind of person to do things like that, but for some reason that night I did, and I really wish I wouldn't have. But at the same time, it made me into the person that I am today, and it definitely brought me and my family closer. And I think the hardest part of the whole thing was having to cope with the idea of my parents being so disappointed in me, and they made me feel like even though I did something so bad, okay, sorry about that, my camera overheated. This part was just that my family was so supportive still. It was so weird because I did something so bad, but yet they were still so supportive and loving towards me. Everyone makes mistakes in their lives, whether it's the worst or not that bad of a mistake. You make a mistake, maybe not even just once, but multiple times, and it's not the rest of your life. It was the worst time of my life, but I moved past it, and I cried a lot. Definitely cried a lot, but now I'm good, and now I'm happy, and I'm living a great life, and I learned from that mistake. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for getting emotional throughout the video, but that's like the first time I've told it since it happened, and it's really just a tough story to tell. But I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Peace.